What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another review. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. Today I'm going to be reviewing a comic book movie sequel that people were looking forward to. I wasn't highly looking forward to this one. It's the sequel to the 2018 film, and that movie is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Directed by Andy Serkis, the great motion capture actor and director, and this movie stars Tom Hardy, back once again as Eddie Brock / Venom, and introducing Woody Harrelson as Carnage. You also have Naomi Harris and Michelle Williams. Eddie Brock attempts to reignite his career by interviewing serial killer Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, who becomes the host of the symbiote Carnage and escapes prison after a failed execution. Now, if you guys remember back in the year 2018, we had the release of the first Venom movie with Tom Hardy in it, and I thought that movie all around wasn't that great. And I enjoyed it the first time I saw it in theaters, and I didn't rewatch this movie going into Let There Be Carnage. I just found it to be pretty forgettable all the way around. I wasn't a big fan that they made Venom a PG-13 movie. They kind of made Eddie Brock a dumbass in that movie. But what got my interest slightly up more with the sequel was that it was directed by Andy Serkis. Now, you guys know how I feel about Andy Serkis. I mean, the guy is the god of motion capture performances with the Planet of the Apes movies, with King Kong, and he's also done some work directing. He did Mowgli, that Jungle Book movie. I wasn't a big fan of that Mowgli movie. Now they were bringing in Carnage in this sequel. He was teased at the end of the first film, and I do like Woody Harrelson. So what were my thoughts overall on Venom, Let There Be Carnage? This is a spoiler-free review, by the way. No spoilers, you're safe here. I thought Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the best thing I can say about it is better than the first film. I thought this movie was fine. It was enjoyable. I didn't hate it. I had a good time with it. It is a 97-minute movie. There are issues with it. It's definitely not a perfect movie. But there's things I did enjoy, surprisingly, about this sequel. I think what Andy Serkis does a better job in this sequel with is that relationship with Eddie Brock and Venom. It was explored really well in the first film, but I wasn't a big fan of the comedy in the first film. And this movie doesn't have good comedy either, but I do think that relationship is better in this sequel. You got Venom in here, and he's kind of getting on Eddie's nerves in this sequel, and there is that arc between those two characters that I thought pretty much worked. They work well together, surprisingly, and they were really the highlight of this movie by far. It's Tom Hardy pretty much talking to Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy is pretty enjoyable as Eddie Brock. For the scenes that Woody Harrelson was in the movie, I will get into that in the negatives, I thought he was pretty enjoyable. Woody Harrelson, I think, is just a great actor all the way around. No matter if he's in a bad movie or not, he's still going to give a good performance. And it seemed like he had a blast playing this character, Carnage. Just this insane serial killer that has an affection and obsession with Eddie Brock. I mean, the dude just wants to be his friend. And so you see those scenes with his character, Woody Harrelson, and then you got Carnage too, mixed together. And I think Woody Harrelson, for the most part, the scenes he was given, I thought he gave a decent performance. Naomi Harris was a good addition in here as well. Kind of that relationship, that love relationship with Woody Harrelson was pretty great. Michelle Williams, she was in the first movie. She doesn't do much in here, but provides her services. Just the best part about Venom, Let There Be Carnage is that it is shorter and gets right to the point. Because with the first movie, it took a lot longer to get to the point. This one, it's a pretty simple story. Eddie Brock comes across, Woody Harrelson's character, becomes Carnage, and they fight. It's a pretty simple premise. It's also kind of found its audience. It understands it's this dumb, entertaining comedy comic book movie. And for people that really like the first Venom movie, I think you're going to really like this sequel just as well, maybe even more. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the PG-13 rating. I haven't been since the first Venom. I just don't like just making Venom just a comedic character. Venom is like a really gruesome Spider-Man villain. And I just didn't like, you have this really cool, awesome comic book character with Venom. Just be able to bite dudes' heads off, show blood and gore, and also kind of have that dark comedy mixed into there. Again, as much as I love Woody Harrelson and his scenes as Carnage, there isn't much of Carnage in this movie. And yeah, it is a 97-minute movie. I wanted more of that brutal Carnage, and it really was not showcased with a PG-13 rating. Carnage in this movie, he's ruthless, and just more ruthless than Venom, and with the scenes of Carnage, there just wasn't enough of him, and I was pretty satisfied with the Carnage stuff, but there isn't enough of it. Also felt like Michelle Williams was kind of useless in here. I mean, the first movie, she kind of had a role in there. In this one, you gotta have her in here because she was in the first one, but it felt like her and her husband character were kind of useless in here. Before I give you guys my final overall thoughts on Venom, Let There Be Carnage, if this is your guys' first time checking out the channel and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this movie, definitely hit that like button and consider clicking that subscribe button for weekly reviews, ranking videos, Q&As, where I talk about movies all the time here on the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button and come join this wonderful community. Venom Let There Be Carnage has promised us it could be better than the first one, and it is better than the first one, I would say. Not as investing as I had hoped. I wanted more Carnage, and that comedy is a bit forced at times in here, and wanted more brutality. But I think if you enjoyed the first Venom, you're gonna like this movie. And if you didn't like the first Venom, you'll feel kind of how I feel, or you won't like it at all. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Venom Let There Be Carnage a C+. Now, it's definitely a positive review. I thought about giving it a B-, but with some of those issues, I give it a positive review, guys. C+. Go check Venom Let There Be Carnage out. Alright, guys, that was my thoughts on Venom Let There Be Carnage. Have you guys seen this movie yet? If so, what were your thoughts on it? Did you love it? Did you think it was okay? Or did you hate this sequel? And also, let me know down below in the comments which one you prefer, the first Venom or Let There Be Carnage. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!